What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. Innovative champion picks are one of the most exciting parts of competitive League of Legends, and in fact a lot of the meta picks we see today started out as a completely innovative pick that took the scene by storm. As we count down the list, we'll be measuring these picks by how much they took people by surprise and how well they performed with their new unique playstyle. These are the picks that came out of nowhere to break the meta, but worked so well that they became meta champions themselves until they got nerfed, of course. Please keep in mind that this list was really hard to make, so go easy on me if you disagree. But I did my best, so let's get started. At number 10, it's Twisted Fate Jungle. Innovated by Kikis from Unicorns of Love, this jungle pick popped up during the preseason of Season 5 due to the way that you could kite the jungle camps and take no damage from them. The pick completely wrecked TSM at IEM San Jose, and to see this champion be taken in the jungle was really surprising and very impressive. TF Jungle only got played once, but it was during the off-season when there was almost no competitive games going on, and by the time the season came around, the jungle camps had gotten nerfed twice, and so TF Jungle was really not a viable pick anymore. But I think it would have gotten played a lot more if the pick had popped up during the regular season. But to be fair, maybe I'm a little bit biased with this pick because I saw the games live and the amount of hype that I had with this pick was actually really crazy. At number 9, it's Nautilus Support. After receiving the change in patch 5.5, everyone expected to see Nautilus emerge as an above average jungler, but Lemon Nation on Cloud9 busted him out as a crazy powerful support pick that was a huge lane bully and began to dominate the support meta. Although Nautilus might have a kit that wasn't that surprising to see played as a support due to his high amount of crowd control, he was only ever played in the jungle really since his release, and had never seen play as a support, so it was quite surprising at the time based on Nautilus's competitive history, and even after getting nerfed is still a strong meta support champion pick to this day. At number 8, it's Urgot Mid. Somewhat similar to Nautilus, this guy got played after a somewhat reasonable buff to the champion, but Urgot's competitive history had never seen him in a solo lane, and it was quite a surprise in NA when Keen from Gravity decided to pick him mid lane, and he went on to dominate TSM, and Urgot eventually became one of the most contested mid lane picks for quite some time, and even now is still a somewhat competitive mid lane champion. Everyone expect him to be played in the bottom lane, but mid lane Urgot proved to be a great counterpick to the assassin meta, and had some really powerful playmaking potential. Number 7 is Alistar Top. For the longest time, Alistar went mostly unplayed after falling out of the meta, and with his buff in Season 4, everyone expected Alistar Support, or maybe even Alistar Jungle, to become super popular again, as that was his competitive history as a champion. But with the mechanic of being able to land an auto attack with his headbutt, comboed with a Sheen proc, Alistar Top emerged as an insanely dominant champion due to his ability to land so much free poke with a headbutt auto attack combo, while being super tanky and providing a boatload of utility to a team, and the build of Triforce comboed with a static shiv gave him quite a surprising amount of damage as well. And he also proved to be especially powerful as a 2v1 top laner. Number 6 is Hecarim Mid. This pick is actually quite similar to Urgot in that it was popularized in NA by Keen from, at the time, Curse Academy. He did really well with it in his games, and although it wasn't as popular as Urgot Mid, it was a lot more unexpected and was a big surprise that seemingly came out of nowhere. To be fair though, this innovation is what led to Hecarim Top being so popular, and so in that sense it eventually did become what was the strongest top laner in the game for a time, and certainly was a pretty strong mid laner. It's just that there wasn't too much of a reason to play him mid over playing Hecarim top due to the power of the home guard teleport plays, and overall it eventually led to him receiving quite a few nerfs. Number 5 is AP Master Yi Mid. Before Alexis from Moscow 5 popularized this pick, Master Yi had gone completely unplayed in competitive play as a champion, but AP Yi Mid took the meta by storm and was quite a strong option that became crazy popular in solo queue until it got nerfed heavily multiple times. It was a really unexpected pick because Master Yi was completely unheard of as a champion in general for competitive play until it was brought out to the mid lane, and it was a pretty crazy take on what was intended to be an AD assassin, and eventually caused Master Yi to receive a complete overhaul as a champion. Number 4 is Soraka mid. Similar to Alistar top, this pick dominated scrims a lot before being played competitively, so the success of the pick can't really be contributed to one specific player, but Soraka mid became this late game monster with ridiculous survivability early game that for a time was one of the best mid laners in the game that came out of what had only ever been perceived as a support champion. Soraka was at the time a fairly average support champion, so seeing her become a crazy powerful mid laner after being seen as the classic standard support champion was quite surprising, and the team comps built around her were really powerful. Number 3 is AP Tryndamere. This one's interesting since it's something that grew in popularity through solo queue, and it wasn't as popular as some of the other picks in competitive play, but it completely terrorized solo queue until it got nerfed. The AP Tryndamere build had a ridiculous amount of mobility and area of effect damage, and was such a unique and unexpected way to play the champion that did a really good job of taking advantage of his crazy sustain, his scaling with cooldown reduction, and the random AP ratio on his E, and eventually resulted in a champion that destroyed solo queue and saw quite a bit of competitive play as well. This pick was really surprising to see exist since Tryndamere was always seen as the typical AD duelist, and the AP build really came out of nowhere without any changes to him, and ended up with Tryndamere getting some pretty massive nerfs. Number 2 is tank top Katarina. Voidboy from at the time Team Curse brought this pick out during the offseason, and it proved to be a really unique build and interesting way to play Katarina, but was also really strong due to the damage reduction on her Shunpo and the versatility of Katarina as a champion. This pick eventually got nerfed quite a bit, but still saw some play by the time the competitive scene came around since it was such a strong and dynamic option. It was a really interesting way to play what was seen as an assassin champion, and is unlike any other assassin build we've ever seen really. And number 1 is Annie support. This might seem a little weird because it's been such a popular meta pick for such a long time, and so if you weren't around when it first came up, you wouldn't have experienced the hype and the surprise the pick had around it, but in Season 3, Annie was perceived as a really weak mid lane champion, and was never even considered to have the potential as a support, and overall was considered to be an unviable champion, and had really never seen the light of day in competitive play at all, until Tabe from Royal Club innovated the pick in the Chinese scene, and eventually the Season 3 World Championship. The pick was insanely powerful and was something that he innovated completely out of nowhere, and the Annie support pick remains strong in the meta after 2 years and a bunch of nerfs, and even now is one of the most popular support picks, and is also the first time we started seeing Annie being played in the competitive scene. Annie support took the competitive scene by storm and has shaped the support meta ever since. The longevity and resiliency of Annie support after the nerfs, in my eyes, is what truly makes it the most innovative champion pick in League of Legends history. The agent to a game that he sure to lose. Major symptomatic fecal flaws due to twisting gutter clips and bats of both, then inside my